Hi everyone, welcome back to our channel. Today I thought I'd do a little video on what I take to Disney in my parks bag. This hopefully will give you a few ideas on things that you might need or things that you might not have thought about. So without further ado, let's get cracking. So this is the bag that I use the most to go to Disney. I do have a few different ones which I'll go through with you in a little bit, but this is the one that I use the most. This bag I actually got from Primark. It's just like a little mini backpack. Here's its little straps there, and it has like a press stud inside, and it ties here as well, just to give you a little bit of extra security. It's a really nice size because it's not too big, not too small, and it's great as well because once you've got all your essentials in, you can usually fit little bits of merchandise that you buy. So if you buy a few pins or anything like that, they do fit quite nicely in here, so you're not kind of carrying them about. So this sequin mini here I just bought on eBay and I stuck it on myself. So I think all in all this bag probably costs us about £8, £10, something like that. But I think if you bought something like that in the Disney parks, it would probably cost you quite a bit more than that. So the second bag that I take would be my little bum bag. Now this one I tend to take if we go into Universal, and that's because for starters we don't really buy a lot, so I don't need a bigger bag for as much merchandise. And secondly, when you go to Universal, you're not allowed to have your bags on the rides. You've got to put everything in a locker. So this is just a lot easier because it's a lot smaller. It fits in lockers better, I guess, because obviously there's a few people putting bags in lockers at a time. And also this one's a little bit more secure just because it's on the front of you rather than kind of on the back behind you, so you can keep a track of your money. When we're in Disney, we don't really take too much money because we have our magic bands and we usually link them up with our credit cards. So I'm sure I've only got a magic band on. But when we go to Universal, obviously we don't have anything like that, so that's why this one's really great for that. And the next bag that I take is this one here. So this is just like a shoulder bag. It's just like a mini bag. And I actually bought this when I was in Florida at the outlets last time. And this is really great. It's got a little divider in the middle, so it's quite good for separating all your bits and pieces. And I kind of use this bag if I want to maybe dress up a little bit more. So if we go to Disney Springs for a couple of drinks, or if we go into Beauty and the Beasts for a meal, or Cinderella's Castle or something like that, I tend to take this bag just because it's kind of not as casual as those two, and it just helps me dress my outfit up a little bit, but it's still nice and petite, so you can still take it on all the Disney rides with you without having like a bulky bag, like a backpack or anything like that, or a bulky handbag, because my handbag's pretty big, but I don't tend to take that with us at all. So they're my kind of three main bags that I use whilst I'm in Disney. So what do I put in them? So the first thing would of course be my mobile phone, and along with that comes our portable charger. So the first year that we went, we realised that we used our phones like all day. So we don't take a camera or anything into Disneyland. We just use our phones for taking pictures, doing little recordings. We kind of Snapchatting all the time as well. So these are fantastic. So this I got in duty free in Newcastle Airport, and it's just a Belkin charger there. I don't know if you can see that or if it's a bit too bright. And it's a 6,600 milliamp one. You can get more powerful ones, and we probably will either get a second one or buy a more powerful one before we go away this time, just because there's going to be quite a few of us and the chances are somebody won't have brought one and we want to share it. But this is really great because it does give you like an extra, I think it's about 2 charges or something. It's pretty good. The only thing is it's a little bit heavy, so that's the kind of downside of that, but I know you can get lighter ones. Disney World do offer the fuel rods now. I don't know if you've heard about those, but I think they're about $30. It's just like a little kind of rod that's about this big. You pay your $30, it comes out of the machine, and you use it obviously to charge your phone. Then once it's empty, you just drop it back in the machine and a new one pops out, so you don't have to keep charging it all the time. Obviously you can take it away and charge it with you if you want. So they're a really great idea, but the downside is that, you know, you can only really use it in Disney unless you're going to keep charging it up at home. They're quite small, so I imagine they're not the most powerful. So for $30, I think we paid about £30 or something for that, which is much more powerful. But obviously that one has the added bonus of just being able to swap it all the time when you're in the parks. So the next thing I take is, I usually take one of these, just kind of little mini bottles, and I buy like a set from Primark. I think you get like 5 or 6 bottles for £1, so it's so cheap. And I fill these up with sun cream. And I usually just write on like SPF 30 or 50 or whatever it is that we're taking with us. And they're just really handy because you don't have to take your full tub of sun cream into the park with you. It does get really, really hot, and you do have to keep reapplying it, especially to your shoulders whilst you're walking around. And if you're as like pale as me, you'll know the feeling of being burnt constantly. So they're really ideal. You can get bigger ones which have like a squirty lid on, but I think I've got shampoo in that one at the minute. But yeah, they're really good ideas, so you don't have to cart your big bottle of sun cream around. The next thing is obviously my sunglasses, because it gets really, really sunny. And then we've got plasters. So plasters are an absolute lifesaver when you're there. These ones are, again, actually ones I've bought there. You can see that they say Band-Aid on them, so they are American. I go through quite a lot of these on the backs of my shoes because you do so much walking. So I always have like a handful of these stuffed in the back pouch of my bag. Next thing is my passport. So when I go on holiday, I'm not usually too keen on taking this out and about just in case I lose it. But when you're in Disney, you cannot buy an alcoholic drink unless you've got your passport as ID. They don't take driving licenses because obviously there's so many driving licenses all over the world. So if you want to buy an alcoholic drink, you have to take your passport with you. So that's just a little tip. We learned that the hard way because we didn't take it out one day and wanted to go for a drink and we weren't allowed them. And they are so strict as well. I'm like 30 next year and they're still ID all the time. So make sure you take that with you. They will not serve you without ID. I've even seen people that look like way older than me get ID. They're so strict. The next thing I take is just like a mini purse. So to be honest, I don't take this with me all the time because when we're in Disney we tend to use our magic bands and we charge everything back to the room on the magic band. But if I do take one, I just take a little mini one, and these ones are quite good because they've got the little keyring clasp on there if you do want to attach it to the inside of your bag. And again, you can see if I've got my little bum bag, that fits in there really nicely. And I don't tend to get quite a bulky one. I don't know if you can see, but this one's really flat. So they're a really great idea if you do want to take money with you and you don't want to take like, your bulky purse. Next thing is a bobble, and if you're anything like me and you've got long hair, you'll know how like sweaty your neck gets. I know that's totally disgusting, but it's true. I do like wearing my hair down, but sometimes it just gets too much, so I always have a spare bobble in my bag just in case. The next thing is we always grab a couple of maps when we go in. So when you go in the parks, you get your maps, and there's also like a times guide. Make sure you pick up both of them because the time guide is really important. So this tells you what time all the meet and greets are, what time all the stage shows are, all that kind of thing, and also what time the parks are open till as well. So they kind of, as you go in, they have all these like little trays of park maps and times guides. So just make sure you pick up one of each. And then you've got your map, and on here this tells you this tells you obviously where everything is in the park because it's a map, but it also gives you an idea of your dining. So I don't know if you can see on there, but some of the places have like dollar signs next to them, and they're like obviously where you can eat, but some of them are more expensive than others. So you've got like the ABC Commissionery there, which is $1, if you can see that. And then you've got, is that Sci-Fi Diner? Yeah, which is $2. So you know that one's going to be a little more expensive. And they do go up to $3. So that's quite handy if you want to go somewhere to eat, but you're not really sure what, like how much you want to spend or anything like that. And it does give you an idea of the shows, but it doesn't tell you any times on there. So that's why you need to pick up this one as well. And last but not least is a bottle of water. So the way we tend to do it is, when we get to our hotel, in the hotel shops, because we stay on property when we go to Disney, so in the Disney shops, if you go in the fridges, they tend to have like big crates of water in. You get like 12 bottles of water in. I think they're slightly smaller than this one, and they, I don't know, like $5, something like that. I'm not sure off the top of my head, I'm just kind of making that up, but so much cheaper than if you buy them in the park. So we buy a crate of those and put them in our fridges in our rooms. And then we just take a bottle in every day. You can also refill them for free at all the fountains. There's loads and loads of fountains around Walt Disney World and Disneyland Paris. So you don't necessarily have to pay for water if you don't want to. You can go into all the cafes as well and ask for a free cup of ice water, and they will give you that as well. You don't, like I say, have to buy water, but we just prefer to, especially when you get in the bus in, it does get a little bit hot, so we like to have kind of a stash of these just as we go along. So that's everything. I hope that this video did help you a little bit in your planning. Some of these things you kind of have to think about in advance, like if you want to do it. So like these bottles, I personally think have helped me out quite a lot. They're a really great idea because it's always me that has to carry the bag. Ev never carries anything, so you know, if I can compact everything as much as I can, then it makes life much easier for me. One thing to note is when you do go into Disney and Universal, all your bags kind of get scanned, so you know, just be prepared to kind of wait in queues and things for that. It's for your own safety, so it's totally worth doing it. They do have like a no bag check, so if you don't have a bag with you, you can walk kind of straight through the metal detectors rather than stand in the queues. But we kind of didn't really wait too long for it at all. You know, it's not like you're stuck there for an hour, it's just minutes really. And in Disneyland Paris, you just kind of pop your bag on like a scanner, and it just obviously it's just like at the airport really, I guess. It just scanned it through. So for me that was really great because the first year we went they didn't have any kind of security like that, and they have massively upped it, so I would much prefer to do that than not, I guess. Yeah, but I hope you really enjoyed this video. I hope it gave you a few hints and tips on your next trip. Please like and subscribe. We have got more videos coming up soon about our Disneyland Paris trip, and we're off to Florida in a few weeks as well, so there will be vlogs going up for that. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll speak to you soon. Bye! This is Louis, after he's been told off and he's still chewing it. He's so naughty. Get off. Say bye everybody. Lou. Bye.